Nonito Donaire Jr. was born on November 16, 1982, in Talaban, Bohol, a small and quiet town in the Philippines where life was simple, resources were limited, and dreams often seemed far away. He grew up in a modest family environment with his father, Nonito Donaire Sr., who would later become his trainer, and his mother and siblings who supported him through every hardship. From an early age, Donaire was surrounded by discipline, tradition, and the Filipino fighting spirit that had produced many great warriors before him. When he was still a young boy, his family moved to the United States in search of better opportunities, settling in California. The transition was not easy. Language barriers, financial struggles, and cultural differences made life challenging, but those early struggles planted in him the resilience that would later define his boxing career. As a child in America, Donaire was shy and reserved outside the ring, but inside the gym he discovered a powerful sense of purpose. Under the guidance of his father, he began to train seriously in boxing and amateur fighting. His natural athleticism, fast reflexes, and sharp punching ability quickly separated him from other young fighters. Donaire showed exceptional talent as an amateur, compiling an impressive record and gaining recognition for his speed and power at a very young age. Boxing became not just a sport but a path to identity, pride, and survival. In 2001, at just 18 years old, Nonito Donaire turned professional. The early phase of his professional career was difficult and slow. He fought in small venues, earned little money, and often trained under tough conditions. In 2002, he suffered his first professional loss, a painful knockout defeat that could have ended many careers before they truly began. But for Donaire, this setback became a foundation for growth. He did not quit. Instead, he returned to the gym with greater determination, rebuilding both his confidence and his technical skills. Fight by fight, he improved his defense, his timing, and the devastating left hook that would later become his signature weapon. For several years, he remained largely unknown to the global boxing audience, quietly building experience and sharpening his craft while chasing opportunities that did not come easily. The turning point of Donaire's career came in 2007 when he was given a late-notice opportunity to fight Vic Darcinian for the IBF flyweight world title. At that time, Darcinian was considered nearly unbeatable and one of the most dangerous fighters in the division. Donaire entered the fight as a heavy underdog with almost no international recognition. What happened next shocked the boxing world. In the fifth round, Donaire unleashed a perfectly timed left hook that knocked Darcinian out cold. The victory was sudden, violent, and unforgettable. With that single punch, Nonito Donaire announced his arrival on the world stage and instantly transformed from an unknown prospect into a world champion and a global name. Following his historic upset, Donaire began a journey across multiple weight divisions that would define him as one of the most versatile fighters of his generation. After leaving the flyweight division, he moved up to super flyweight and then bantamweight, capturing world titles along the way. In 2009, he defeated Raul Martinez to win the WBA interim super flyweight title, showing that his power carried upward as he gained weight. By 2010 and 2011, Donaire had entered the bantamweight division, where he would experience some of the greatest successes of his career. Kings and became the face of lighter weight boxing worldwide. His speed, explosive power, elegant footwork, and calm finishing instincts made him a nightmare opponent. He went on to dominate several title defenses and unify belts, fighting and defeating elite fighters such as Omar Narvaez and Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. His performances were not only technically impressive but also visually spectacular, often ending with brutal knockouts that thrilled boxing fans around the world. Donaire's style combined Filipino heart with American technical training, creating a fighter both exciting and disciplined. As his fame grew globally, so did his responsibility as a representative of Filipino boxing on the international stage. For the Philippines, Donaire became the second great global boxing icon after Manny Pacquiao. While Pacquiao captured attention in the higher weight divisions, Donaire carried the flag in the lighter classes, proving again that Filipino fighters possessed world-class skill and courage. In 2012, Donaire won the Fighter of the Year award from several organizations after a series of dominant performances, including his victory over Jeffrey Mathebula and a brutal fourth-round knockout of Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. By this time, his name was firmly established among the elite of boxing. He was feared, respected, and celebrated across continents. Yet with greatness came new challenges. As he continued to move up in weight to super bantamweight and featherweight, the physical advantages he once enjoyed began to shrink. Opponents became naturally bigger, stronger, and more durable. The margins of victory were no longer wide. One of the most significant challenges of Donaire's career came in 2013 when he faced Guillermo Rigondeaux, a highly skilled Cuban defensive master. The fight was a stylistic contrast between Donaire's explosive power and Rigondeaux's defensive genius. Over 12 rounds, Rigondeaux controlled the pace, neutralized Donaire's offense, and handed him a clear decision loss. It was a humbling defeat that exposed limitations in Donaire's offensive adaptability. Once again, as earlier in his career, Donaire was forced to confront adversity at the highest level. The loss to Rigondeaux marked a turning point. Some critics declared the decline of Donaire, questioning whether he could adjust to elite technical fighters. But Donaire did what he had always done: he returned to work. He regrouped, improved, and continued chasing new championships in multiple divisions. In 2014 and 2015, Donaire won another world title at featherweight but also faced setbacks against elite opposition. He lost to Nicholas Walters in a punishing fight that tested his physical durability like never before. Though he showed bravery and persistence, the fight revealed the toll that years of high-level competition had taken on his body. For the first time, the idea of decline entered serious discussion. Yet even in defeat, Donaire's courage and professionalism earned him respect. He never avoided challenges. He never carefully selected only safe fights. He continued to test himself against the best available opponents, even when risks outweighed rewards. Outside the ring, Donaire's life also underwent major changes. He married and became a father, embracing family life as a source of strength and motivation. However, his personal and professional relationship with his father eventually became strained, leading to a split between them. This separation forced Donaire to adjust not only his training system but also his emotional support structure. The change was heavy and difficult, affecting his performances and mindset for several years. During this period, his career entered a quieter phase where victories came inconsistently and public attention faded somewhat. Many believe that Donaire's best days were behind him. Yet the story of Nonito Donaire is defined not by early dominance alone, but by extraordinary late career revival. In 2018 and 2019, at an age when most lighter-weight fighters had already retired, Donaire shocked the world by returning to championship contention in the bantamweight division through the World Boxing Super Series tournament. He entered the tournament as an experienced veteran facing younger, faster champions. Against expectations, Donaire defeated rising star Ryan Burnett via retirement and advanced to the final against the undefeated Japanese sensation Naoya Inoue. The final became one of the greatest fights in modern bantamweight history. Over 12 brutal rounds, Donaire pushed Inoue to his limits, breaking his orbital bone and engaging in a high-level war of skill, heart, and endurance. Although Donaire lost a close decision, he earned massive global respect for his performance. At age 36, he proved that his heart, skill, and courage were still world-class. Instead of retiring after that war, Donaire continued defying time. In 2021, he regained a world title by knocking out Nordine Ubali to capture the WBC Bantamweight Championship, becoming the oldest bantamweight world champion in boxing history. The victory was deeply emotional, symbolizing not only physical resilience but the triumph of faith, patience, and perseverance. He later unified the title with additional championship success, once again standing among the elite at an age when very few fighters remain competitive at world level. His late career breakthrough inspired fans worldwide and redefined what longevity meant in lighter weight boxing. Today, Nonito Donaire stands as one of the greatest Filipino boxers of all time and one of the most accomplished champions of the lighter weight divisions in boxing history. His career spanned more than 2 decades of elite competition, an achievement that itself places him among boxing's rarest figures. He proved that greatness is not defined by a perfect record but by the willingness to rise after every fall. For fans of boxing across the world, Donaire's story is not just about titles won or fights lost, it is about resilience, reinvention, faith, and the refusal to surrender to time or doubt. From a shy immigrant child in California to a multi-division world champion admired across continents, Nonito Donaire's life is a powerful reminder that true champions are built not only by victories, but by endurance through hardship and the courage to keep fighting long after the spotlight fades. The victory was sudden, violent, and unforgettable. With that single punch, Nonito Donaire announced his arrival on the world stage and instantly transformed from an unknown prospect into a world champion and a global name.